All right, subpart A, general. The part prescribes the minimum federal safety standard for all locomotives except for the propelled the steam power. The applicability except for the provided for the paragraphs through B through E of this section. This part apply for the standard gauge records. This part does not apply to the railroad operates only with the track inside the installation, which is not part of the general railroad system of the transportation rapid transit in an urban area that are not connected with the general railroad system of the transportation paragraph A through B of the statute 229-125 do not apply to the Tier 2 passenger equipment defined in statute 238.5 of the chapter of passenger equipment operating with a speed exceeding 125 miles an hour but not exceeding 150 miles an hour on and after November 8th, 1999, paragraphs A1 through B1 of the statute 229-141 do not apply to the passenger equipment defined in statute 238.5 of the chapter unless the equipment is excluded with the requirements of statute 238 203 through the 238, 219, 238, and 238, 223 of the chapter of the operation 238, 201, A2 of the chapter of the paragraphs A2 through A4 of the B2 and through B4 of the statute 229, 141 do not apply with the passenger equipment as defined in statute 238, 5 of the chapter of the place in the service the first time for the on after September 8, 2000, unless the equipment is excluded with the requirements of statute 238, 203 through the 238, 219, and 238, 223 of the chapter operating with the statute 238, 201, A2 of the chapter, Title 54, Federal Registration 229, August 14, 1989, amended with the Title 64, Federal Registration 25659, May 12, 1999. All right, year 229 for information collection. The information collection requirement is part of the reviewed by the Office Management Budget pursuant to the paperwork reduction in 1980 by the Public Law 96.511, having been assigned by the Office Budget Management Budget Control number 2130-004 304. Information collection requirements are found with the following sections: 229.9, 229.17, 229.21, 229.23, 229.25, 27, 29, 31, 33, 55, 103, 105, 113, 121, 135, and Appendix H of the Part 229. Definitions as used as part of the AAR stands for the Association of American Railroads Acceptable Quality Level AQL as expressed in terms of percent defective defects per 100 units of the lots having quality level available specific acceptable quality level will be accepted approximately 95% of the time using sample plans prescribed that the accepted quality level. Alerter means a device system installed with the locomotive cab promote the continuous active locomotive engineering, the attentiveness monitoring of the sensible selective the locomotive engineering, the induce of the control activity, the fluctuation of monitoring locomotive engineers induce control activity detected with the predetermined time, the sequence of the audible visual alarms activity with the progressive prompt, the response of the locomotive engineer, failure to locomotive engineer to institute the change of state with the control or acknowledgement of the alerter alarm activate with the manual reset provision result with the penalty of brake application that begins with the locomotive train and stop. Anti-climbers means the part of the ending with the adjoining the rail vehicles and the train with the design to engage the subjective large buffaloes to prevent overriding of one vehicle to another. Assignment address means the uniquely identifying the RCL that ensures the only OCU linked with the specific RCL and command of the RCL. Associated Administrative Safety means the Associated Administrator of the Safety of the Federal Railroad Administration of the person delegated to the design and writing. Break. It means the fracture resulting in the complete separation in part. Building date means for the date in which the completed locomotive is shipped and manufactured, remanufactured to the customer, and the manufacturer remanufactured with the locomotive itself at the date with the locomotive is released from the manufacturer remanufactured facility. Cab means that the portion of the superstructure designed to occupy with the crew operating locomotive. The carrier means the railroad is determined in this section. Collision post means the structural member and the structure of the rail vehicle that extend vertically through the underframe with which is securely attached to provide the protection to the occupied compartments for the object pertaining to the vehicle during the collision. Control locomotive, that means the locomotive from which the operator controls the traction brake function of the locomotive concern. It is normally of the lead locomotive. The corner post means the structure of the members located in the intersection of the front and rear surface of the surface of the rail vehicle, which extends vertically over the underframe of the roof. The commuter surface means for the type of the railroad surface described under the heading of the commuter operation in Title 49 CFR Part 2 and 9 Appendix A. Commuter work train, the non-revenue surface of the train used for the administrative and upkeep surface of the commuter railroad. Control cab, the locomotive means the locomotive without propelling motors must be with one or more control stands. Control of the remoting distributed power. Locomotive means that the locomotive distributed power consists of the receiving code signal. Lead the locomotive consisting of the train, whether the commanded automatically with the distributed power system manually with locomotive engineer. Cracks means the fracture without the complete separation in parts of except for the casting shrinkage cracks of the hot tears that do not significantly diminish the strength of the members that are not considered cracked. Cruise control means the device of the controlling locomotive power output with the obtaining the target speed of the device of the function only at below 30 miles per hour than not considered with the cruise control for the purposes of the part. Data element means one or more data at the point of the verifying value reflecting on board operation at a particular time. The data may actually be passed through the values or may be derived from the combination of values from other sources. The dBA, that means for the design of the pressure, and dBA or decibels means the pressure level, and the decibels measured with the weighted scale. Dead locomotive means the locomotive other than the control cab locomotive that does not have any traction devices supplying tractive power or control cab locomotive with the locked or unoccupied cab. The decibels or dB means the unit of the measurement of the sound pressure of defective mains. Proof of the section 229-129 of the part of the locomotive equipped with the audible warning device that produces the maximum sound level in excess of 110 decibels or at maximum sound level 96 decibels measured at 100 feet the forward toward the locomotive in the direction of the travel. The designated surface means the excessive operation of the locomotive under the following condition. 1. The locomotive is not used on the independent unit of the controlling unit. The signal locomotive is except for the moving for the purpose of the servicing and repairing the single yard. 2. The locomotive does not occupy with the operating deadhead crew outside of the single yard area. The locomotive is stenciled designated service do not occupy designated design standards maintains criteria adopted with the industry voluntary consensus standard for the body with the addressing design locomotive with the respective of the crashworthiness and crashworthiness features. Distributed power system means a system provided with the control of the number of locomotives dispersed throughout the train, controlling locomotive the locomotive located in lead position. A system provided with the control rearward locomotive commanding signals originating in the lead locomotive with the transmitted to the remote or rearwarded locomotives. DMU locomotive means the diesel-powered multiple-unit operated locomotive with one or more propelling motors designed to carry the passenger traffic. Excessive noise and means of the reporting a locomotive cab occupant with the locomotive producing an unusual level of noise. Significant interferes with the normal communications or that which is concerned with the respective hearings conservation. Electrical air brake means the brake system controlled by the computer which provides the means of the control for the locomotive brakes and train brakes for both. Event recorder means the device is designed to resist tampering the monitoring of the recorded data in detail with the statute 229-135B of the other must present 48 hours of the operation electrical system of the locomotive in which the device is installed. However, the device is designed to resist tampering of the monitoring of the recorded the specified data only with the locomotive in motion meets the definition of the device installed with the prior November 1st, 1993, and if records are specified for the last 8 hours the locomotive was in motion. Event recorder's memory of the module means the portion of the event recorder to retain the recorded data detailed in statute 229-135. The FRA means the Federal Railroad Administration fuel tank. The external means the fuel containment vessel that extends outside of the car body of the structural locomotive. Fuel tank internal means the fuel containment vessel that does not extend outside of the car body of the structural locomotive. High voltage means an electrical potential of more than 150 volts. Initial terminal means the location where the train is originally assembled. And in-service event recorder means the event recorded but successfully tested and prescribed in statute 229-27D with subsequent failure to operate intended, if any, is not actually known, but the railroad operating locomotive on which it was installed. Lateral means the horizontal direction perpendicular with the direction of the travel. Lead locomotive means the first locomotive proceeding with the direction of movement. Light locomotive means the locomotive that consisting of the locomotive is not attached to any piece of equipment attached to a caboose. Locomotive means a piece of the on-track equipment on which the high rail special maintenance and other similar equipment. While one or more of the propelling motors designed to move the other equipment, while one or more propelling motors designed to carry the freight and passenger traffic in both. Without propelling motors, with one or more control stands, locomotive cab means for the compartment with the space for the board locomotive, the control stand located with which the normally occupied with the engineer locomotive is operated. Locomotive control unit LCU means the system on board with the RCL with the communicator the VIVA the railroad link with the receiver the process conforms with the command with the OCU with the direction of the locomotive to execute them. Longitudinal means the direction parallel to normal the direction of the travel. Means of the collection of the locomotives equipped with the same horn, the model configuration, location, same the air pressure delivery system, which has been manufactured processed under essentially the same condition. Mandatory directive means any of the movement authority, speed restriction that affect the railroad operation manufacturer. Means the act of construction of the locomotive bound city lock. Means the Lash that can be operated with a normal manner within the sanitary compartment is designed to prevent entry with the other person when the sanitary compartment is in use. The modesty lock may be designed to allow a deliberate forced entry in the event of the emergency. Monica design locomotive means that the locomotive design where the shell and skin acts as a single unit with a supporting frame to resist the transmitting load acting the locomotive. Multiple MU locomotive means multiple unit operated locomotive. One with one more propelling motors designed to carry the freight of the passenger traffic or both. Two with proper propelling motors, both with one or more control stands and the means of picking up primary power such as panographically and third rail. Narrow nose locomotive means a locomotive with a short hood with a span substantially less than the full width of the locomotive. The occupied space surface means an operational locomotive when the cab is physically occupied by a person. All right, operating control unit, or OCU, means the mobile unit that communicates via the railroad command for the movement, the direction, speed, bracketing for the operation of the bell, horn, and stand into an RCL. On the short passenger service means for the type of the railroad service described other than under the heading Other Short Haul Passenger Service in Title 49 CFR Part 209 Appendix A. The permanent deformation means the undergoing of the permanent change in the shape of the structural member of the railroad vehicle. Potable water means the water that meets the requirements of Title 40 CFR Part 141 Environmental Protection Agency primary drinking water regulations of water that has been approved for the drinking, washing purposes of the pertinent stale or local authority having jurisdiction for the purpose of this part of the commercially available at the bottom of the drinking water is deemed potable. Powered axle equipped with the traction device. The power capable power car means of the rail vehicle with the propelled the Terra 2 passenger train is the lead vehicle of the Terra 2 passenger train or both. Or a qualified mechanical inspector. The means of the person who has received instruction training that includes the hands-on experience under the appropriate supervision and apprenticeship in one or more of the following functions: troubleshooting, inspection, testing, maintenance, and preparing specific locomotive equipment with which the person is assigned responsibility. The person should also possess current understanding whether what was required of the properly repair with the maintained locomotive equipment for which the person is assigned responsibility. For the qualified mechanical inspector shall be a person who properly responsible include the work generally with consistent with the functions listed in the definition. Railroad means all forms of non-highway ground transportation that run on rails, electromagnetic guideways, or including communicator or other short-haul rail passenger services in metropolitan suburban area. High-speed ground transportation that connects the metropolitan with regard with whether the new technology is not associated with the traditional railroad. Such terms does not include the rapid transit operation within the urban area. They are not connected to the general railroad system and manufacture. Remanufacture means that the act of the construction, remanufacture locomotive, remanufactured. Locomotive means the locomotive rebuilt and refurbished for the previously used for the refurbished underframed deck that contained fewer or less than 25% of the used components. The measure of the dollar value of the components for the calculation purpose of the percentage previously in component determined with the equivalent of the new parts, and they calculated with using dollars for the same year for the new parts for the remanufactured of the locomotive. All right, your RCL is the remote control locomotive. Means the remote control locomotive through the radio link that can be operated with the person, not physically with the confinement of the locomotive cab. For the purpose of this part of the term, the remote control RCL or the remote control locomotive does not refer to the locomotive, the group of locomotives, the remotely controlled lead motive locomotive of the train, the distributed power arrangement. RCL, remote control operator, means the person utilizing the operating control unit with the connection with the operations involving the remote control level. Remote control locomotive with or without cars. Remote control pullback protection means the function of the remote control locomotive that enforces speed and stops in the direction of the pulling of the movement. Roof rail means the longitudinal structural member of the intersection of the side of the wall of the roof sheeting. Sand delivery system means a permanently stationed fixed device designed to deliver into the locomotive sandbox that does not require sand to be manually delivered. Loaded. The sand delivery system was considered permanently stationed if it is location is at least 5 days a week at the last 8 hours per day. Sanitary means the lack of any condition with a significant amount of filth and trash and human waste is present. In such a manner, the responsible person will believe that the condition must be constitute health hazard or strong persistent chemical or human waste or sufficient to determine the use of the facility, give the rise of the reasonable concern with respect to exposure hazardous fumes. Such conditions include, but not limited to, the toilet bowl filled with the human waste, sold toilet paper, other products used in toilet compartment that are present due to the defective toilet facility. The bowl not flushed, otherwise removed. Waste, visible human face, waste is residual floor of the floor to toilet seat. This is presumed due to the toilet overflow with the accumulation of soil, paper towels, toilet paper around the floor of the toilet facility on or sink, accumulation of visible dirt, human waste on the floor, toilet facilities or sink, strong persistent chemical or human waste orders or compartment. Sanitation compartment means for the enclosed compartment of the railroad locomotive that contains toilet facility employees use. Self-monitoring event recorder means the event recorder that has the ability to monitor its own operation to display the indication that the locomotive operated when any data recorded but stored or not stored when the stored data does not match the data received from the sensor data collection point. Semi-mononique design locomotive means the locomotive is designed whether the skin or shells acts to some extent as a single unit with a supporting frame to resist the transmit the load acting of the locomotive. Semi-permanently coupled means the occupied means the withdrawal bar and other coupling mechanics from the required tools to perform uncoupling operations. Serious injury means the injury that results in amputation of any of the appendages, loss of the sight of any eye, fracture of the bone, confinement in the hospital in a period of more than 24-hour consecutive hours. Shore hood means a part of the locomotive above the underframe located between the cab and the nearest end of the locomotive. Standard body means the industry and the performance organizational association with the conduct, research, development, issue, policy, and pursue criteria, principles, and standards related to the rail industry. Switching service means for the classification of railroad freight and passenger corner of the commodity designation, assembling the cars of the train, moving and changing the position, care of the purpose of loading, unloading, weighing, placing the locomotive and car of the repair, storage, and moving the rail equipment in connection with the work service that does not constitute train movement. Throttle position means any and all the discrete output positions indicated by the speed, traffic, effort, the characteristic capacity operated with the locomotive on which the throttle is installed together with the discrete output position, so cover the entire range of the possible speed, traffic, effort, characteristic. The throttle has continuous variable segments event with a recorder shall require capture either. 1. The exact level of speed, traffic, effort, characteristic requires on a scale of 0 to 100% of the output variable or a value converted to a percentage of a comparable 0 to 8 digit signals. Terra 2 means the operating speed existing of 125 but not 150 miles per hour. Time means either time of the day elapsed from the arbitrarily determined by the manufacturer. In either case, by the recorder must be able to convert to accurately time of the day with the time zone stated unless for the Greenwich Mean Time or UTC. All right, toilet facilities mean a system automatically with the command to usually remove the human waste to place where the treated and eliminated with the retained, such as no solid non-treatment liquid taste of the liquid waste, therefore permitted with the release of the pole in the urinal room and that prevents the harmful discharge of the gray as is persistent offensive odor. Transverse surface means that the freight train with the travel between the point of the origin and point of the final destination and now not exceeding 20 miles for the miles that is not permanent forming the switching service. The ultimate strength means the load of any of the structural member of the fracture for the cause cease to resist any load. Unsanitary means of having any condition with a significant amount of filth and trash, human waste in the present within such a manner that a reasonable person would believe that the condition might constitute a health hazard, strong, persistent chemical or human waste odor sufficient to deter use of the facility, give the right of the responsibly concerned with respect to exposure hazardous fumes. Such conditions include, but are not limited to, the toilet bowl filled with the human waste, solid toilet paper, other products that are used in the toilet compartment that are present due to the defective toilet facility that will not flush, otherwise remove the waste visible human waste and residual on the floor, toilet seat with the present due to the toilet overflowed with the accumulation of solid paper towels and solid toilet paper on the floor, toilet facilities and sinking, accumulation of the visible dirt, human waste on the floor, the toilet facility and sink of the strong persistent chemical, human waste, odor, or chemical. Alright, your upper 99% confidence limit means the noise level below 99% of all noise level measuring must lie. Washing system means a system used by the railroad employees to maintain personal cleanliness, including a secured sink of the basin, water, antibacterial soap, paper towels, antibacterial waterless soap and paper towels, antibacterial moist towels and paper towels, any other combination suitable antibacterial cleansing agents. Wide nose locomotive means the locomotive is the short hood of the span full width of the locomotive. All right, Section 229.7, prohibited acts and penalties, Federal Railroad Safety Laws, Title 49, U.S. Standard Code 20701 through 20703, make it unlawful for any carriage to permit and be used on the line of locomotive unless the entire locomotive is to prudency, any proper condition, safe operated, service with they are put in the unnecessary repair, well lived and limb, have been inspected and tested required within this part, any person included but not limited to the railroad, any manager, supervisor, official, or other employee agent of the railroad, any owner, manufacturer, lessor, or leaser railroad equipment track of the facility and employed with such owner, manufacturer, lessor, or leaser, independent contractor who violates the requirements of the part of the federal railroad safety laws will cause the violation of any such requirements is subject to a civil penalty of at least $650, but not more than $25,000 per violation, except that the penalties may be assessed on individuals only with a willful violation, where the grossly negligent violation or partially repeated violation created with the imminent hazard of death of the injury personnel, the cause of the death and injury penalty not to exceed $105,000. Violation assessed, or that each of the violation continues and constitutes separate offenses appendix of the B of the parts containing the settlement agency civil penalty policy. Any person who knowingly, willfully, falsely record or purport record with a part of subject to the criminal penalties in Title 49 U.S. Standard Code 21311. Alright, movement and non-complying locomotives, except with the provided with the paragraphs in B and C of the 229-125G and 229-131B of the C1 locomotive with one or more of the conditions non-compliance with the part may be moved in the light locomotive of the dead locomotive after the carrier has complied with the following. A qualified person shall be determined there was a safety to move the locomotive to the maximum speed or other restrictions necessary for the safety reduction and conduction of the movement. The engineer of the charge of the movement of the locomotive shall notify the written and inform all the crew members of the cab of the presence of the non-complying locomotive maximum speed other the restriction determined in the paragraph of the A12 of the section. A copy of the tag described in the paragraph A3 of the section may be used to provide notification required for the A21 of the section. The tag being with the warrant with the complying locomotive containing the following information shall be accurately attached to the control stand of the multiple unit control cab locomotive. The isolation switch near the engine start switch on every other type of locomotive. The locomotive number, the name of the inspection car area, the inspection location, the date, the nature of the defect, the movement, the restriction, if any, the designation, the signature of the person making the determinations required for the paragraph B. Locomotive develops a non-compliant condition en route, but may continue to utilize the proper propelling motors if the requirements in paragraph A have otherwise fully met until the early of the next calendar day inspection of the nearest forward point where the repair is nearest to bring it to compliance may made. C. Non-complying locomotive be moved within the day of the average speed not exceeding 10 miles per hour without meeting with the requirements of paragraph A of the section moved within the solely purpose of the repair of the carrier responsible for the issuing to ensure the movement may be safely made. A dead locomotive may be continued with the following calendar day of the day inspection controlling locomotive head of the train and locomotive consists. The locomotive does not consist of the locomotive because of its propelling. Motive within operative because of the control jumper cable is not connected. Nothing in this section authorized movement of the locomotive is subject to the special notice of repairs and life of the movement is made in accordance with the with the restrictions contained in the special notice paragraph. A, B, and C of the section shall not apply with the sanitation conditions of the statute 229-137, 229-139, section 229-137, and 229-139 are set forth specific requirements for the movement and repair of locomotives with defective sanitation compartments. 229.11. Locomotive identification letter F shall be legibly shown on each side of every locomotive near the end of which the identification purpose is known as the front. Locomotive number shall be displayed with the clearly legible numbers of each of the locomotives. The control locomotives, except for the locomotives moved in accordance with statute 229.9, whenever the two more locomotives are coupled with remote with multiple control propulsion system standards and power brake system, each locomotive shall respond with the control with the cab of the controlling locomotive. The dynamic braking or regenerated braking system is in use. The portion of the system is in use shall be respond to the control of the cab of the controlling locomotive. 214 non-multiple unit controlling cab locomotives. On each of the non-multiple unit controlling cab locomotives, only these compartments added to the passenger car that enabled it to serve as the lead locomotive control of the locomotive cab, the locomotive actually provided with attractive power with the otherwise control movement of the train are subject to this part. 229.15. Remote control locomotive. Design and operation. Each of the locomotive equipped with the locomotive controlling unit shall respond only to the operator control unit assigned to the receiver. If one or more of the operating control units are assigned to the locomotive control unit responds only to the operating control unit that is primarily commanded. Subsequently, the operating control unit is assigned to the locomotive control unit with the previous assignment will be automatically canceled. If more than that operator control unit is assigned to the locomotive control unit, the secondary operator control unit may man down feature and bell horn emergency brake application and function shall be remain active. The remote control system shall be designed so that the signal from the operation control unit of the remote control locomotive is interpreted from a set of period not exceeding 5 seconds of the remote control system shall cause. One, full service application of locomotive train brakes, and two, the eliminated locomotive traffic effort. Each of the operating control units shall be designated with the controlling only with a remote control locomotive at the time of the operation control unit having the capability of controlling more than one remote control locomotive shall have the means to lock in with the remote control locomotive assigned to address the prevent the simultaneous control over more than the unit, more than one locomotive. If the operating control locomotive is equipped with an on and off switch with it when the switch is moved, if and on the position of the remote control system causes a full service application of locomotive train brakes, the elimination of the attractive effort, remote control locomotive should be a distinct, unambiguous alarm visual warning device that indicates that the nearby personnel of the locomotive is under the access of remote control locomotive. When the main reserve pressure drops below 90 psi while the remote control locomotive moving, the remote control locomotive shall initiate the full service application of locomotive train brakes, eliminating locomotive traffic effort. Whenever the air valve, the electronic selector switch of the remote control locomotive are removed from the manual remote control, moved from remote control of the manual mode, the emergency application of the locomotive with the train brake shall be initiated. Operating control hand with the remote control locomotive shall be removed, pinned in place and protected with electronically, otherwise rendered inoperable necessary to prevent movement because the remote control locomotive's cab controls while the remote control locomotive is being operated with remote control. 10. The remote control locomotive system, both the operating control unit and the locomotive control unit, will be designed to perform the self-diagnostic to electronic components of the system. The system shall be designed to immediately affect the full-service application of locomotive train brakes, eliminating the elimination of the locomotive traffic effort. In the event of the failure is defective, each of the remote control locomotives shall be tagged, and the locomotive control stand should be stand throttle indicating the locomotive is being used with the remote controls in mode. The tag should be moved from when the locomotive is placed in the manual mode. R12. Each of the operating control units shall have the following control switch and shall be applicable performing the following functions. 1. Direct control. 2. Throttle speed control. 3. The locomotive independent air brake and release. 4. The automatic train air brake application and release control. 5. The automatic audible warning device horn. And 6. Audible bell control if equipped. 7. Stand control unless automatics. 8. Bi-directional headlight control. 9. Emergency air brake application. 10. Generated field switch equivalent to eliminate tractive effort for locomotive. 9. 11. Audio visual indication of the wheel slip only with the audio and visual indication not provided with the remote control locomotive. 12. The active audio indication movement is located with the remote control lever and for the duration at least 3 seconds. 13. Reserved. 14. Require at least 2 separate actions of the remote control operator to begin movement of the remote control locomotive. Each of the operation control units shall be equipped with the following features. A harness with the breakaway safety feature and operator with alertness device requires the manual resetting of the equivalent. The alternating device shall incorporate the timing sequence not exceeding 60 seconds. Failure to reset the switch for the timing sequence shall cause the service application of the locomotive train brakes, elimination of the locomotive traffic effort. 3. The tilt feature when tilted with the predetermined angle shall cause an emergency application of the locomotive train brakes for the elimination of the locomotive traffic effort. If the operating crew review board is equipped with the tilt bypass system that permits the tilt protection from the temporary disable the bypass feature shall be deactivated within 60 seconds of the primary operation control unit, within 60 seconds for the secondary operational control unit, unless reactivated by the remote control operator. Each of the operating control units shall be equipped with one of the following control systems. An automatic speed control system with a maximum of 15 miles per hour speed limiter. 2. A graduated throttle brake. The gradual throttle brake control system built on September 6, 2012 shall be equipped with the speed limit of maximum 15 miles per hour. The RCL SWIP system be equipped with the September 6, 2012 shall be equipped with the automatically notify the railroad event with the railroad control operator becomes incapacitated or operating control unit tilt feature is activated. The remote control locomotive system built prior to the September 6, 2012 shall be equipped with the automatic notification operating incapacitated feature may not be utilized in one person's operation. Inspection, testing, and repair. Each time the operating control unit is linked with the remote control locomotive at the start of each shift, the railroad shall test the air brakes of the operating control unit, the safety features including the tilt switch and the alternating device, the man down tilt feature, automatically notification. Operating crew unit shall note to continue the use effective device feature indication paragraph B1 of this section. Any defective operation control unit shall be tracked under the identification number assigned with the railroad, recorded the repairs maintained with the railroad, and made available to the FRA request. Each of the remote control locomotives placed in service at the first practicable time after starting each of the shift, no more than 2 hours after the starting of that shift, the locomotive is utilized the positive train system such that the remote control pullback protection performing the conditioning running over the track of the position positive train stopping system being utilized to ensure the system functions as intended. 229.17 accident report. In case of the accident due to the failure of any cause of the locomotive, any part of the appurtenancy of a locomotive, or a person coming into contact with electrically energized part of the appurtenancy with the result of serious death and injury of one or more of the personnel of the carrier, the operating locomotive should immediately report the accident by the toll-free telephone number area 800-424-0201. The report shall be the nature of the accident, number of the person killed, the serious injured, the place in which it occurred, the location of the locomotive affected with the part, inspected by the FRA, name of the title and the phone number of the person making the call, the locomotive, the part of the parts affected with the accident shall be preserved intact with the carrier until the FRA inspection. Written confirmation of the oral report shall be paragraphed on this part of the section immediately nailed to the FRA administration, the RRS 25 Washington DC 20590, containing detailed description of the accident intended, including the extended known of the cause, the number of the person killed and injured. The written report recorded wired by the paragraph is in addition with the reporting requirements title 49 CFR Part 225. Alright, 219 prior waivers. Waivers of the requirement of the parts issued for the June 28, 2012 to terminate the date specified a letter granting the waiver. If no date was specified, the waiver shall automatically terminate in June 8, 2017. Alright, 229.20, electronic record keeping. For the purpose of compliance with the record keeping requirements of parties except for the daily inspection recorded and maintained with the locomotive required in statute 229.21, the cab copy of the form FRA F618049A required by the statute 229.23, fragmented the air brake maintenance required record required for the statute 229.27, the record required under 229.9, the railroad may create, maintain, and transform any of the records required for this part with the electronic transmission, transmit, storage, retrieval, provided with all the requirements contained within this section are met. The design requirements of any electronic record system used to create, maintain, transfer the record required to maintain this part of the following design requirements. 1. The electronic record shall be designed so that the integrity of the record is maintained through the appropriate levels of security, such as recognition, electronic signature, other means of the uniquely identified with the initiating person, author of the record. No two persons shall have the same electronic identity. The electronic system shall be ensured that each of the record cannot not be modified or replaced once the record is transmitted. An amendment of the record shall be electronically stored at the other record of which amends. Each amendment to the record shall uniquely identify the person making the amendment. The electronic system shall be provided with the maintenance inspection records originally submitted with the out of the corruption of the lost data. The policy procedure shall be placed and prevent person from altering electronic records or otherwise interfering with the electronic system. Operational requirements. An electronic record system with the creator to maintain, transfer the record, record with the maintain with this part with the meet the following operation requirements. The electronic storage for the record required with the parts shall be initiated with the person performing the activities of the record, perhaps pertains within 24 hours following the completion of the activity, and for each locomotive with which the record inspection maintenance is required for the parts for the maintained electronically, the electronic record system shall automatically notify the railroad each time the locomotive is due for the inspection maintenance for the electronic system of the tracking. The automatic notification traction does not apply to the daily inspections. Accessibility, availability requirements of any electronic record system used to create, maintain, transfer the record required for the maintaining the parts shall meet the following availability requirements. 1. Except as provided with the statute 229.313 C2, the carrier should provide the FRA with electronic records maintain the compliance with this part for any specific locomotives, any mechanical departure terminal upon request, and paper copies of electronic records. Amendments of these records may be necessary to document the compliance with the part provided with the FRA for the inspection complying with upon the request. The paper copies should be provided with the FRA not later than 15 days from the day the request is made. The inspection records required by the part may be available to the person performing the inspection to the person performing the subsequent inspection of the same locomotive. Title 77 Federal Registration 21343 April 9, 2012 amended in Title 77 FRA 75056 December 9, 2012. Subpart B, Inspection and Test.